That's why I got two bands. I have a band here. I have American band and a European band. This is because I'm passionate to my job, so I spend all my life, all my time on the road. And for the band, it's sometimes tough. It's good now. They're on holiday. They're all happy because we were on tour. And I'm here on tour for 2 weeks, 10 dates, so we say. Then go back to, with them, and they are so happy.
You enjoy touring?
I like that.
Yeah.
It's everything.
It seems like
flying.
It can wear on you after a while. Flying is sort of
it's
stressful.
Like flying.
You like flying?
No, it's like a bird,
Yeah.
Flying like a bird. Everything makes sense with that.
Even after you've been doing it for 2 weeks or a month, it doesn't start to wear on you? Really?
I'm on tour since 7 years now. More than 7 years. Yeah. Busy because in Europe and we are always on tour, and also I have my own project, and sometimes I work on a different project too. Like for those two last years, it was working with Toumani Diabate, Mathieu M, a very huge project in France where we've been on tour for 6 or 7 months, and and in the between I had my own show too. So can you imagine?
Have you always been this driven?
Sometimes comes and I go back.
What pushes you though to work so much?
It's like a running out of my past, because I have a strong background as women, as African child, fighting to be who I am, because I don't come from a very, not from rich family. Yeah. I can't say poor too, because it depends what it means to be poor. It's not because you don't have material things that you're poor. You can be rich also in a spiritual side and a different culture and a different way. They are rich actually, but not materially. My family. I didn't grow up with my family. I've been adopted. So it's like when I ran away from my family, let's say 12 years ago, I still running, but in a different way. I can say today, I can make things happen by myself. I'm learning how to play guitar and how to make a solo on stage. I can say I got some freedom today. But even this, it's like running to my to my past. I don't want to sit down and look at in the back. I just want to go, fighting. And it makes me, it's like a healthy, it's like a medicine for me. Singing, dancing is like a hospital.
You feel that given your background that you don't take things for granted in the same way that maybe some people do? In
my side, it's I can say yes. It is the only way that I found to stand with my background, working hard. And I think I'm not the only one in the music area, music industry, naturally, normally, I mean, so because music is like, to me, it's like a medicine. It helps a lot to stand with many things, to stop crying. Because when you've been crying too much, you decide, you got two things. Or you decide to kill yourself, or you decide to survive. And when you decide to survive, you must get the things who can help you to survive. And music was mine. Music saved me. It's helping me. It's like a God voice. It's like a hope. It's my mom. It's my father. It's my son. It's my husband. It's everything. It's music first, God the music, and after human. Even after myself. Because without music, I spend time crying and I don't understand nothing to the world. It's like I'm too sensitive, to understand things. I'm dreaming something maybe too much for the world. I'm dreaming to have the planet perfect. I want everybody to be happy. For me, it's an unfair to see that somebody are poor, somebody is poor, somebody is crying. I don't like people fighting. I don't like a war. I want peace, My ideal, my dream is to see everyone in this planet, no matter which place are you living. I want people to be happy. And I know this is not possible. Many old people told me that, I'm sorry, this is not possible. So to stand with this, I just need to sing, to accept that accept that the world couldn't be perfect, that children can't be suffering, women can't not be suffering. So I have to accept that in some place it could be very bad.
You possess a power of being able to make people happy for, even if it's an hour at a time.
I'm trying to do my best, because I believe in music. I believe in what I'm doing, and I knew that music saved me. So sometimes I want to share that to my audience, to tell them, okay, if you want to survive, music can be something to help people, to heal people. I like to pass through music to heal people, to make them happy. Their happiness makes me trusting to what I'm dreaming for the world. It's a long way, but maybe I think we all believe. Even Paul McCartney believes on this, I'm sure. All artists, go on stage for some reason, because we have a faith. We believe on something, which is happiness, giving, sharing, giving a lot, good vibes, good, like entertainment. For 2 hours, you want people to don't think about anything, no bad things. You want them to be happy, just happiness.
So maybe part of it is fooling yourself a little bit into thinking that, you can affect some kind of a fundamental change playing music.
Exactly. Sometimes even, I'm a woman, you get a period sometimes that you don't have energy and you're tired. You're not feeling good, because you have your own problems in your life. But once you get on stage, life changes. It's like we're on a mission. It's like you forget everything. You
don't have bad nights, off nights where you don't want to be there, where you don't want to be performing?
No,
really?
No, I don't want this. Let me touch the train. No, it's like it's more powerful than myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes me somewhere in a different places, and I love this place, because this place is the perfect world that I'm dreaming for.
Maybe you're having a bad day, and then it comes time to perform. You get out there. When does that flip? What is it? Is it the performing of the music? Is it the audience's reaction?
No, it's like when you start to sing, everything change. When you're in front of people, you're like in the church, or like in any place, spiritual places, you make a connection with people, with their eyes. Once you get on stage, you feel that they are watching you, and you feel like obliging to transform the instinct change, the time change, the place doesn't exist, where you are, timing, nothing change. It's only now. You must connect now, and you got 2 hours to make them happy. This is your mission. Can you believe in this? It's incredible. And you can do it. When it's so clear in your mind, things are very tack. You can be sick and you forget about your sickness, and you just have to do the job. It's a job, but not bad job. It's like you have a fan also. It's not only giving to them, because they will give it back to you. Yeah. If you transform your energy, the good vibes, and then say, okay, I want to make them happy now. In 1 hour or 45 minutes or 2 hours, I want them to be happy, to forget all bad things that they've been living all day, during the day, and, even during the week, even during the month. So I just want them to be good now, just to have a fun and everything. Once you decide this, everything changes, even for you and for them. It's incredible. So like exercise every day.
Can you get that feeling when you go into a studio and perform, or do you need that live audience?
The studio is different to the audience when you're in front of people, because with the audience it's like a live. You can lie. You must be true. You must tell about your truth. You're in front of people. You must be very strong. It needs a lot of strong energy. But the studio is different. It's totally different. The studio is more intimate. I go alone. I go sit in front of myself. Okay, this is you, this is me. And what we can share, it's like a telling about my spirit, what we can do each together with the guitar. for the audience, You speak differently. It's a different communication. The studio is like communicating with yourself, but the audience is communicating with other people. It's a two different exercise for me.
It's not worse. It's just a different experience.
It's just a different experience, It's more intimate than most of the time I cry on the studio because all my stories, it's like all I tell about on my song and my songs on my it's it's just like a small doors that I open open for my own stories. If I want to tell about female circumcision, mutilation, genital mutilation, I've been living this, and sharing this with the world. You must do it. So it's a lot of process to me when I write the songs.
Are all the songs that personal for you?
Yeah, most of them. And some of from my friend, people I'm really in love with, my sisters who've been married, arranged marriage, who've been living arranged marriage, and I'm in touch not with many women. I'm most of the time with men, but the few women with whom I'm in touch, they always tell me about their story with their husband and all those stuff. And sometimes I wish that to my own experience, just to be connected and write a song. Like in this album, the song like a Takamba. Takamba, it's a rhythm from the north of Mali, used a lot by Alpha Touré. I don't know if you know him. I've been trying to have my version of Takamba, a rhythm from north, but the story inside it's about one of the sister, that who one day called me in the morning and told me that she was fighting with her husband and she was saying, "Oh, I have all my eyes. He hits me and I'm suffering."
Black eyes, yeah.
Yeah, and I was crying that day. I was really crying and I couldn't do nothing, Then I took my guitar and said, "Okay, you should not beat me." I've been writing every single, lines that she told me. And I made a melody with it. When she was saying, "Oh man, don't touch me, don't beat me," and she was saying, Fatou, what I don't like when he shout on me in front of my daughter. This line killed me. This was the most harder for me. When she said that she preferred that to be beaten inside, intimately, but not in front of her children. And I said, okay, I must write it. And in Takamba, I said this line: "Don't beat me, don't shout on me in front of my husband," So it's going to be this kind of experiences on my song, but everything is real.
It is interesting, something that you can do in music that you can't necessarily get away with in other art forms is you can write something serious and sad, but still make it joyful.
Yes. This is my technique. Yeah. This is my...
Did I just figure out your secret?
This is a new technique which is really new even for Malian people. I'm the first one doing this kind of thing, having very heavy subjects with nice melodies.
It's similar to maybe the American blues music in a way. Yeah.
Exactly. Sweet melody, but with strong messages. Because this is a blues. The blues is in the middle. If you stop, you decide to survive, you make a blues. You can't sing blues if you're not feeling bad. But in the same time, you got a lot of hope. It's quite very spiritual. You must give hope to the sadness. You must smile to the thing that you're supposed to cry. You must transform everything, every bad things, to the happiness. But in the same time, you're sad. Like stop crying, but smiling. But you're crying inside of yourself. I don't know. It's the same process, and in my music is this, because when I decided to write songs, I'm a songwriter, then I said, okay, what you could do, in your country, everybody's singing already. You got such a beautiful voice, music is already, almost very great. What you can do special, something different to other people.
We say, what can you bring to the table?
Exactly, to change things. Because this is your background.
Yeah.
You're not like everybody. So how you can bring your reality, your truth to people, I said, okay, maybe Don't looking for it in a very, don't, so far. It's inside of you. Try to defend your truth. And your truth, it's your life, your own life. You got a lot to say. You have a lot to tell about. And this is the name of my album. I have a lot. I have a lot to say. And I said, okay, try to share your own experiences. Just as women coming from Africa, as women in this world today, as a child of this world. So it makes things really easier for me, because my stories, my melodies, everything is, we can say, organic. It's come from how I think, my feeling per day, if I'm happy, if I'm not happy. Even if these subjects are very difficult, this is necessary because I want to save other children. I want other people who've been adopted like me to believe on themselves, to say, I can change my own life. I can be someone. I have two different fighting. I'm fighting to make other children, to survive. And in the same time, telling about women, children in Africa, the African development too. Subjects are very diverse. But in the same time, I'm healing myself. I'm going to open the melodies through my crying. If I'm supposed to cry down, I'm going to make a song with this melody. Crying is like a melody to me.
Do you believe in the power of music to affect change in the world?
Definitely.
I have this conversation with a lot of people who write political music, and there's a question of whether or not they're spinning their wheels. But it sounds like your feeling on it is that you can get through to the people themselves who are affected, and that you can show them that potentially there's a way out, there's a way for them to improve their own lives.
Definitely. And it's working for me. I can say in Mali for sure. In Mali, many young people always, even this morning, some guys called me, they said, we're following you. We look at you, we know what you're doing every single time, and we just have to keep going. And I say, okay, let's go. I like this kind of, this generation, we are so connected, because I have a very strong messages, but in the same time, keeping the sweetness, I don't want to fight. I'm not politicians. I don't want to fight to change things. I don't need. I'm a woman. I want things to be changed in Africa, but I don't want to complain in the same time. For today, I like to abord strong subjects in Africa, like female genital mutilations and arranged marriage and children adoptions, kind of adoption in Africa, but not complaining. That's why the melodies are full of hope. That's why the melodies are like, we're happy. So, even the words that I decide is to always open, full of open, you're going to hear, so, it's always open. I don't want to go, I think a lot, it's many reflections before to make things, it's like touch many people in the same time. You will touch people in a different way. Yeah. Some by your melody, some by your words, some by the consonants of the choice of your melodies, It's a process. It's really...
Well, again, that's something that you can do in music that you can't do in other mediums. Is some of your music, for example, the songs that aren't in English, that just because I don't understand the words doesn't mean that I can't connect to them or I can't appreciate them. You're able to work on different levels all at the same time. Yeah. You've been in France for how many years?
Oh, let's say 17 18
years?
Yeah.
You still feel that connection to Mali?
I'm living in Mali.
Oh, you are living in Mali?
Yeah, since 2012, when we had a very complicated political situation in my country. I've been there for almost 1 year and writing song. In 2 weeks, I did one song that's called Maliko. In the song, we had 60 artists from Mali, Umusangare, Tumani, all together and say that we need a peace. We don't want to fight. So we want peace and we need a development for our country and everything. And since this, I built my house and I'm there. I just come in Europe to work, in America to work. I travel a lot in the world. I'm not often at home, but this is my mission.
Yeah.
But when I have time, I go back home.
Did you expect to actually move back there? It sounds like you went back to record music and you kind of stuck around.
I wanted, in the past to go back in Mali. But this situation, the problem pushed me to go back quickly, very fast, and did this song. I did this song, and we made this song very quickly, and it works, And the impact was really special.
When did you start singing?
Always. I started singing when I was, in my souvenir, like 8, 9, maybe before, but I couldn't remember. I had a sister who's called Awa. She was called Awa. And one day she passed away. I was young, like 8, 9 years old. And every day I was going to the place where we were playing. We were like 1 year different, very short, like twins, we're very fighting every day. My best friend, my mom, I was spending more time with her than everybody in the world. And one day she passed away in the morning, At night she said that she had a belly, problem. She was suffering. And in the morning, I saw at 9 o'clock in my, they took her like at 6 o'clock in the morning to the hospital. And 9 in the morning, my father was back with her, dead. And I couldn't understand nothing. I was a child. I was a baby, I was full of happiness. I was like smiling for everything, dancing. And this was a big shock for me. Then grown people didn't pay attention on this effect on me because she was, spending more time with me than everyone, They could think that what's happening with Fatou, what she's feeling, And I think my mom was suffering too much, my father too, so they couldn't take care of me.
You lost your sister and your best friend.
And everything. Yeah. I lost everything. She was the one who could drive me. She was everything. Everything. And I started to go outside, where we were playing every day. And I was saying, where are you? Where are you, Awa? Where are you? I couldn't even cry because I was tiring to cry. It was more than crying. You cry, but you can't see her. Yeah. Then I said, okay, crying won't change nothing. Then I was going every day in the same place. And I don't know why, when I was in the same place where we were playing, I started to have a small melody, like, like when we were singing together, all those things. And this voice is like, was full of hope for me. Was like replying her present next to me. It's incredible. When I started to be alone and I sing, it's like Awa is next to me. Even now, I always sing. This is my problem. When I'm alone, I sing. I don't have a friend. I have a friend, but not very close. I'm a very lonely person, I like to connect with people when I'm with them. But when I'm not with them, I like to disconnect, and it's otherwise it's too tiring for me. But when I'm alone, I like to sing. This singing becomes, since I'm 8 years old, hope for me, because this voice replied my sister Awa, and guide me. How say it? Show me the way how to survive. The voice, because when I started to sing, I was happy. Even younger, even so it's like her voice. I wasn't alone. I feel like everything next to me with my voice. It's Awa, it's a God, it's everything. So until now, the voice is still driving me and showing me the hope and happiness, and at the same time trying to share this happiness to people. That's why when people listen to me in their house, I want them to be close to me, I like to have this relationship with them, saying, okay, we are together. You're not alone. My soul is with you. That's why when I write a song, it's not just writing to write. I write because I want people to feel the same feeling when I listen to my, when I have the presence of a voice next to me. I want people to feel this kind of love and attentions and, presence next to them, to don't feel alone.
You still think of her every time you sing?
Every day. I sing for her. Otherwise, that's why I often say surviving. I always say that, music. Music helps to survive. That's why. This is the way I say survive. Because without voice, I couldn't survive. It was too weird, too difficult. Until now, nobody tell me why she died. That, there no verses, no lines. Then after, it was too complicated, and then my parents sent me to my aunts in Mali, and no communication until now. So music is helping me until now. He's everything. He's my psychology. He's my sadness. He's my happiness. He's my hope. He's my God. It's everything.
So if by some chance of events you were unable to sing for a living, to play music professionally, you would still sing to yourself?
Voila. I was singing to myself, and when I started, to the theater in Paris, the director always was saying, so why when you're alone, we always hear a voice, even in the hotel and everything. So he was saying, what? You got a very strange relationship with your own voice. It's not like singing for people. Why you don't bring back this to us? Why you don't want to share this voice? Because we always hear you from far away. You walk, and then you start to sing. I like to sing. It's like a deliverance. It's like a, medicine to no stress. It helps for everything. Director told me that when I started, I ran away to go to Paris. I was working with a theater director, and I was an actress in that time. For 5 years, I was only an actress, no singer.
Yeah.
And the director told me, why you don't bring this voice to my company? I want you to sing for us, because we always hear you singing alone, but always far away, never with us, Then I said, well, if you want. And I wrote one song for the theater, for the show. And then I start like this to share this voice with people, with other people, and until now. And it takes me now in front of you.
Was it difficult to sing in front of people early on?
It was strange.
Yeah.
It was very strange to me. When I did it for the first time, I think I was sad. When I'm alone, I was happy, because it's a different feeling. But sharing this with people, I was a little bit sad. Like feeling to sing, to cry, but no cry. You don't have a reason to cry in the same time, but it's like a sharing with them my own life. It was opening the door of something that was closed for a long time, And I learned how to open this to people, because after the show, people were coming to me, and they were not talking to me about my character, the way I was playing. They were saying, yeah, you are a good actress, but they said, we don't know what you're telling about on your song, in your song, but we feel something. When you sing, we got a feeling with you. And many people were telling me this, and I said, okay, maybe I got something to share with this. I can make something with this voice. And I started to write songs, and I bought my first guitar by myself, learn guitar by myself, everything alone. And so I composed my own songs, just to share this is a small part of my life.
It's interesting that early on you felt that just the act of singing was almost sharing too much, and now that you've been doing it for a while, you're sharing everything. I mean, your songs are, you're sort of an open book.
Yeah, it's because people have been deciding. When people show this, when I connect with somebody, even the venue or the place where I go, I think they want me to come back, because they could feel that the aim of behind my project is not me, it's a them. And everybody needs attention. Everybody needs love in some point. Because with my music, I always like to make a connection between people. me and people. But in the same time, even people between themselves. I like a connection. I like love. I like to love to win in every shows. And I think you don't need to be Malian or Indian or, I don't know, African to feel that. You just have to be human to feel what I'm looking for, what I would like to share with you. And that's why the tour still continue, because it's a different, it's a different aim, and people can feel it. They know that they are like, they know that I love them. I love, love is the main of my project,
Are you able to accomplish any of those goals in the same way through acting?
Yes. I love that, because it's strange. Maybe before now, not that strongly, because 3 weeks ago, I was in Senegal for a movie shooting, and the director was really, really, really happy for my presence. That was special. Yeah, very, very special. I think now the connection is very open. It's I just have to decide to give you something, and you can feel. I hope so. You can feel it. And they were all happy for my acting, and they were saying it was special. So it's like connections. It's not how you perform. I think it's more the presence, being together, the peace that you can give to people when you're with them. How to make people happy, not by acting, but just your presence. It's like you don't need to talk to be connected to people. Just have to feel it and decide to give, even without words, without singing, without talking. And it works.
Even after you've been doing acting and singing for so long, are you still able to take stock? Do you still feel lucky to be able to do what you do for a living?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yes. And I would like to continue, because this is only my second album in my own. But I've been doing a lot of collaborations in the past, like a 10 album with Herbie, Damon Albarn, Bobby Womack. So I like
pretty
that.
Impressive.
Yeah, I love it. Roberto Fonseca. So I love that. I like sharing music. I have a lot of albums, that I've been sharing with other artists, but my own is only 2. So I still have a lot to say. A lot. Because every single part of my life, it's like a book. And I just need to open one door and I can make a 10 song with that. Even 20 songs, It's just the beginning of something.
There you go. That was Fatoumata Diawara. Thanks so much to her for taking the time to do that. Really enjoyed the conversation. Got into some very heavy stuff that we don't often talk about on this show. Very, very interesting. Really enjoyed it. Her new album, Fenfo, Something to Say, is out now. Thanks so much to her. Thanks a lot to Joe and Samantha for helping set up that conversation. Thanks to you guys, as always, for listening to the show. If you like the program, there are a number of ways to support us. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Tumblr. That's rlcast.tumblr.com. That is the first and best place to get all of your RIYL-related information. If you've got any feedback, it's rlcast@gmail.com. I think that's about it for this week, so stick around, because we'll be back just about this time next week with another episode of RIYL.